Hi, my name is Kirsty McAllister.
Hello, my name's Denise Wallace.
Well, it is lovely to have you both here on Double Tap.
Nice to be here.
Thank you.
Now, tell us why we're here, Kirsty, because from my understanding, you've created something rather interesting that, and you know, as you said yourself when you emailed me, this is a little bit outside of the tech world, but then here at Double Tap, we do tend to drift away from tech quite a lot. So that's okay. That's okay. Tell us what you've created.
What I've created is basically an adult colouring book for blind and visually impaired people. Well, when I say book, it's actually individual sheets in a pack. Like it's not bound together, so it's more easy to take the pages out and stuff.
Okay, so, and what led you to do this?
Well, basically, because of Denise. It's not something I would ever have thought of. I would never have thought blind people would enjoy colouring. And to be honest, colouring wasn't something I would have done either, but I'm an illustrator and Denise likes colouring, so tell them a bit.
Yes, I decided because I had quite a few sighted friends who had taken up colouring as adults, I would give it a go myself. And there are packs available, but they're embossed, so the lines are kind of pushed up from underneath. And what I was finding was when I was trying to colour up next to the lines would flatten down, and I was getting very frustrated. So I used to have to ask Kirsty a lot for help. Can you tell me what this bit is here and what this bit is here? And
they weren't very well designed for blind people either. They were like really not clear.
Mm-hmm.
There were weird bits that like, what is this? What is it supposed to be? Or extra things added like clouds in the sky, but it didn't say that in the title, so you had no way of knowing.
Now, I didn't realise, because I've never seen cartoons, I didn't realise that cartoon characters had really big heads compared to the bodies. And so this is all very confusing when you're doing it all by touch.
Can you explain that a bit more to me? I'm going to sound really, I don't know here, but have you got any sight at all there, Denise?
Very little. I do actually do the colouring all by touch, just by feeling what I'm doing.
And it's just hard for me to get my head around the enjoyment you get from what I remember. And colouring in has become like really popular over the last few years, as you mentioned, amongst adults, right? Because when I hear colouring in, I think of primary school or younger even.
Yes.
But it has become a way of relaxing. I'm fully aware of that. I just I find it difficult to get my head around the enjoyment if you can't see the finished final result. What does that give you? What enjoyment and satisfaction do you get from it?
I can see to a certain extent that maybe there's a patch of yellow here and a patch of green there, but I can't see to the extent of knowing whether I've done a good job or whether I've coloured all the bits. There might still be white bits left that I haven't coloured in, but it's more the relaxing bit of just sitting down and doing something like that. And I've got scented crayons as well, so you get the nice scent and just the whole sitting down and relaxing and doing that kind of thing I find really relaxing.
Yeah.
Denise, I really want to apologise for Shaun because that was a terrible question.
Why was it a terrible question? I'm sure lots of people are going to be asking the same thing.
Well, okay, I think you're right. I think that ultimately it's about the relaxing, right? I mean, lots of people do lots of things for many reasons and maybe don't see the result of it. Shaun, you've reset that computer of yours about 15 times and you've never seen any result yet that I see is in any way happy, that makes you happy. So
I understand. It's almost like a form of meditation, right? It's just
it's the art
taking
of
time out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting, Kirsty, how you get into this and how you're doing it. So how are you actually making the paper? How are you doing this?
Well, I design the designs on the computer, and then we're getting them printed by a company down in London that I think it's mostly like for wedding invitations or business cards that they sometimes have kind of raised up print. So I'll just hold it up just in case anybody can see it probably the light's not good enough to see the raisiness, to be honest. But so it's like that, actually a sort of plastic powder they sprinkle in the ink before it's dry, and then they heat it so it becomes raised up lines, and they're sort of shiny, and they feel quite different from the paper, and they're raised up, and no matter how much you colour over them, they won't flatten down again because they're actually stuck onto the paper as opposed to being embossed into the paper.
Got you. Right. Okay.
So yeah.
And I mean, you say you started this really with Denise in mind, but
Yes.
is this for you? Is there a business here? Because look, I mean, as we were saying earlier, I'm kind of joking around, but Shaun's right. I mean, this is becoming a big deal in the adult world as well as in the kids world, right?
Well, that was one of the other things, was there didn't really seem to be any adult colouring books for blind people. I mean, kids could enjoy these as well. There's nothing like inappropriate for children. But
yeah, when we say adult, what are we talking about here?
Not adult in that sense. They're just aimed at adults. So the subject matter, like I've got in this one, I've got flowers. I've got paisley pattern, which Denise, you found really interesting because you didn't know what paisley pattern was.
I had no idea what paisley pattern was like, so it was very interesting to learn that.
I've got a pattern of some leaves on the page. I'm just holding these up if anybody can see them. A peacock, that is definitely the most complicated of all the pictures, I would say. A forest road, so it's got a road and then some trees and plants with unnaturally large leaves. The sun, which is a very decorative picture, with like rays coming out of it with zigzags and things. A butterfly, got city buildings. I've got a fish in the sea. I think that's my favourite one. And a pattern of stars. So the subject matter is the sort of thing that adult colouring books have. They're kind of decorative rather than fun or cute. And they're the style as well is quite simple. They have to be simple so that they can be coloured easily, and also to be coloured in crayon if that's what people are wanting to use. And yeah. Oh yes. Also, they've got different thicknesses of lines. So the main shape, like the picture of the fish, there's a big thick outline around the outside of the fish, and then there's thinner lines like to show his eye and his fins, and then he's got a pattern of scales on him, and that's done in dotted lines. And then there's water in the background, and that's done in like little thin broken lines, so that you don't get lost when you're colouring it. You
still know the
hierarchy.
Yeah.
As opposed to every line being identical. And no kind of, this is important and this is just decoration.
Oh, that makes total sense. I've got to say, I was kind of almost dismissive of this, but
yeah, you were.
I admit, I was kind of thinking, well, what did I get out of this? You know, if I can't see what I'm doing, but I actually can see why this could be quite interesting. I quite like the sound of it. I wouldn't mind trying this, especially with scented crayons as well. That sounds
I
good.
do actually quite like the sound of the scented crayons. I mean, I baked beans smell flavour one. I'd be quite keen on that.
Unfortunately, I don't think they make them in that.
Well, someone should make that. Get that on there. Get that next. But I think as well, it's the two-sided of it, right? It's the relaxation, but it's also the learning. So for someone who's totally blind, been blind their whole life, who may not be able to or ever have really felt the outline of something. I mean, we've heard about this before, but it's a big topic at the moment in the blind community around tactile images, and a real growth in this in terms of how technology is helping make tactile images. But this is something a little bit more simple than that, and something that anybody could access. I say that, of course. What is the plan here, Kirsty? I mean, if a million of our listeners decide they want this, do you have to give up your job, or what happens?
If a million of your listeners decide they want it, I'll need to get some more printers. But I've got 250 at the minute, so, or slightly less. So, you know, there's plenty there, and
Okay.
easy to get more printed. And I've got a second book in my mind, but I'm not going to print that. And I've done a lot of the work, but I'm not going to print that until I've sold more of the first book. So I sell them online, and it's 10 pictures for £10. Oh, and the cover, of course, as well. You could colour in the cover if you want to. It's got like the word decorative in big letters that can be coloured in both print and giant Braille.
Very
letters as
nice.
well.
Sorry, where do you ship to? Is this UK
Anywhere,
only?
because with Articles for the Blind, it's free. So, yeah, I can send them anywhere. I've sent one or two to the US, and the others have all been UK. But yeah, so I can send them anywhere in the world, really. I guess that I think everybody does Articles for the Blind, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, even Australia. I know they go as far as there. So yeah, absolutely worldwide.
So yeah, can go anywhere. They do all have a title on them in English. So obviously, if people didn't speak English, that would be not so handy. It's in both print and in Braille.
That's
And
brilliant.
the title, I've done my best to have nothing in the picture that you can't figure out what it is from the title. Hopefully, like not like it's so tempting as a sighted person. Like I'm drawing the city buildings, and you want to add in like the sun and the sky or something. But no, unless I say city buildings with sun and sky, nobody will know what this random circle is meant to be. So
That's true.
So yeah, it's been quite a good challenge. I like solving problems and working out how to do things.
So where do people go if they want to order one of these?
My website, which is Kirsty, that's Kirsty McAllister. So that's all one word. KIRSTYMCA.co.uk, and then /blind will take you to the page that has got any resources I've got for blind people, which currently is just the colouring pictures, but I don't know when this is going out, but very soon there will be some crayons with both tactile symbols and Braille on them, so you know what colour they are.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
So yeah, I did some before with sticking on little foam shapes, which worked really well until the shapes came off. But these new stickers that they're just coming back from the printer as we speak, are much better, and I was able to Braille them as well. So, like for example, so if you can't read Braille, you can still feel the symbol. So like there's a heart for the red because that makes sense. There's a circle for the orange because oranges are round. There's some sort of the moon is blue because like once in a blue moon, just so that there's some sort of logic.
There's a legend to it somehow. Yeah,
to connect.
It's a bit cryptic, but you can figure it out.
And even I can distinguish these symbols by touch. Which, I mean, Braille to me is just like rough paper. So you don't need to be skilled at reading Braille to be able to figure out what these symbols are. I mean, it maybe take a wee bit of practice, but...
Denise, tell us how you both met.
We've known each other for a long time, actually. Kirsty works for me, nothing at all to do with her her job as an illustrator. But it was, so we've met a long time ago, just through Kirsty working for me and with other jobs. But yeah.
Yep.
And are you? Would you say, Denise, you're into your tech yourself? Are you?
Not really.
No,
not really.
No, I usually, when I ask someone that, they usually say no, not really. But then they tell me they have a PC, they have an iPhone, they have and they go through the whole list of technology that they have, and you actually find out, yeah, you are pretty techie.
Well, I have an iPhone, I have an iPad.
There you go.
You're techie.
You're techie. You can say you're techie. That's okay.
Don't be ashamed. It's fine. Embrace it.
Well, actually, one of the things that I think a lot of people use their iPads for, especially, are illustrations, right? A lot of people love to do that. They love to. I mean, this is the big sell for iPads: is the fact you can buy an Apple Pen and you can, draw on it. But this is something which obviously you might want to do in your spare time or color in. It's not the most accessible thing to do unless you had perhaps more vision to do that. This way, you're able to do it in a really tactile, simple way, and you don't have, pop-ups and notifications getting in your way, right?
Nope.
I do use Seeing AI to describe the pictures to me sometimes, not necessarily Kirsty's pictures, but other ones I've got. Can you tell me what this picture is? And it'll describe it to me. And I can ask, have I coloured in all this area? Or, sometimes it makes me feel as if I'm done a really terrible job because it'll say it's very uneven.
Good. Technology makes you feel guilty. That's great. It's like being back in school. You've left some white spaces. Oh, leave it alone.
Yeah, but I'm not doing a masterpiece. I'm doing this to enjoy it and relax. So,
well, look, I wish you both all the best with this, Kirsty especially doing this. I really hope this takes off in a big way. I think a lot of people are going to be interested in this. I know it's a little bit different for us when we talk about this kind of thing, but I think sometimes it's nice to talk about some of the realities that the stuff that blind people do in their spare time. It's not all rock climbing and Paralympian stuff, right? It's sometimes we just like to chill out with a nice book or an audiobook or, even some tactile drawing.
And some colouring.
Yeah, cup of tea.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
That's nice. I wish you well with it. And we'll, of course, post your website to our show notes and to our website as well so people can find out more. But Kirsty, thank you so much for coming on. Denise, you too.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, do you want to see one or two of the pictures that Denise has covered, just so that if there's any excited people, they can
show the audience.
See. So these are done entirely by touch.
Okay.
This is fish in the sea. That was one of the professionally printed ones. These next few ones don't look too closely at the smudged ink because that's not her fault. that was my prototypes that I did by hand. So she did some leaves with all different colours, green and also various autumn colours. I think this is my favourite one, the sun, and reds and oranges. And then she's got the blue sky, and then she shaded purple round the edges of the blue skies to give it a sort of glow.
Oh,
very nice.
Very artistic.
Yeah, and that was basically my thinking was, if Denise cannot colour this picture without any help from me, it needs changed. Because people don't have somebody, well, they might want to do it themselves, but they don't have somebody who can necessarily help them. So it needs to be intelligible without...
I think it's great what you've done. I think it's amazing. Wonderful thing. And I'm so glad you came on to tell us about it.
I'm glad you were happy to talk to us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks, Kirsty. Thanks, Denise. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.